There's something important about Atlantis that I haven't told you before. The legacy of the starseeds was born right there. The Atlanteans were on the brink, on the precipice of ascension when they went down. That's why we have so much to heal this time around before we can ascend. That's why we have this memory of we're doomed, we're doomed. The closer we get to the ascension line, that memory kicks in and says, any day now, they're going to take us out, because that's exactly what happened in Atlantis. So I'm doing a Galactic History series, and I put up the Atlantean video. That's Galactic History series. I think it's part 4. I'll link it in the video description box below, and I'll link it up here for you as well. So if you're on YouTube, you can quite easily find that. The Atlantean story, though, one of the most interesting parts, Atlantis was just us there on the brink of ascension. The most vital piece of information about the Atlantean fall was how close they were, which is one of the reasons why we have such a fear of moving forward. And it's a very valid fear. So let's talk about why that occurred, and why we've also passed a point of no return, where that kind of interference cannot happen. So you can a little bit about this. But what happened in the Atlantean saga, it was so masterminded. It was so orchestrated. It was so meticulously planned. Beings came to the Atlanteans as one of them and said, your ship's going to sink. Your continent's going to go down. Your people are going to die. You're doomed. There's cataclysm coming. And of course, the people who were warning them about the cataclysm were the people bringing the cataclysm. The people warning them about doom were the actual doom of Atlantis. So their failing was in buying into that, in not listening to themselves, in not trusting in themselves, and not upholding their sovereignty. I spoke about their love of technology. That was also a very big part of the fall of Atlantis, because that was the corruption point. The Ascension template got taken down, got corrupted. It was through AI. And of course, through the individuals who were so damn close. Atlantis was I can't say it was a small civilization, because their territory spread. It was much bigger than Atlantis itself. What was it, though, that the controllers of the false matrix were trying to prevent by trying to stop the ascension of Atlantis? Because think about it like this. If Atlantis did ascend, it was a small populace of a relatively fair-sized planet. The rest of the planet would have still been fair game. It was not a planetary ascension. This was roughly 12,000 years ago, and roughly every 12,000 years we have an ascension cycle on this planet. This, by the way, is no ordinary ascension cycle. Far from it. This ascension cycle, the entire planet ascends. Every 12,000 years, the norm is that the individuals will have ascension potential. Not everybody's going to meet it. This time, the stakes are massive, because this is a planet-wide ascension, including the planetary body itself, because Earth has said, listen, I'm pretty much done. I'm pretty much over hosting the false matrix. So the controllers of the false matrix back then, why couldn't they have just let a populace go? Even if it was a few million people, the Atlantean population, why couldn't they just let them ascend? Because it would have caused such a ripple on this planet. It's what I always say to you guys. I say things like, shine, baby, shine, and you are the ripple, and be the beacon, and be the light, be the example, be the awakening. The Atlanteans, even if they disappeared, would have left a ripple. So what the controllers, or I should rather say the once controllers, wanted to do is they wanted to set a precedent. Make an example out of the Atlanteans. See what happens when you fly too high. See what happens when you get too close to ascension. You sink. That was the trauma wound that they embedded and imprinted where there should have been the joy of ascension. There should have been the celebration of ascension that left a marker on this planet. They couldn't allow that to happen, because that precedent and that ripple and that example would have elevated the rest of the planet. It would not have allowed them to do what they did at the fall of Atlantis, which was to fully immerse the rest of the planet in the darkness of the false matrix, which before then operated only in pockets. So at the fall of Atlantis, they thought, let's just take the whole damn planetary system into the false matrix. So it was a fall of a civilization, but it was the fall of humanity. And here's what happens when we fall. What does it mean? We've heard about fallen angels, the fall of Atlantis. What it means is the fall of frequency. The devastation and the shock waves cause a fall of frequency, a degradation of frequency. And now what we've got to do, the job gets a whole lot harder when this happens, is we have to reach ourselves. And when I'm saying this, I'm saying we, the soul, we have to reach ourselves in the fallen state and elevate ourselves from the fallen state. So many people try to ascend with their brain, with their thoughts, with their consciousness only. It's a very physical, very in-body experience. Ascension is all about how physical can you get and how present and in the body, which you know is uncomfortable, you know is disconcerting, you know it stirs you in a way that you can't run away from, can't control, can't avoid. But that's exactly what we have to do when not just a nation, but an entire planetary system fell. So instead of sending out the ripple of, hey, 5D, here we are, that's what Atlantis was destined to do. It became, hey, false matrix, here we are. The legacy of the starseeds was born right there in 2012. And I'm going to talk a bit more about the starseeds in a moment. In 2012, something massive, absolutely massive happened. And that was the galactic forces intervened. The galactic forces are beings who are 5D, 7D, very highly evolved beings. They're benevolent beings. They're beings of love. They knew that they couldn't intervene. They knew they couldn't do this for us. They knew they couldn't step in, because if they did, we would just have to redo the whole damn thing. Because the whole thing is we were the ones who fell, not them. We were the ones who have to now reach ourselves at that base level and pick ourselves back up again. Nobody could do it for us. Knowing that, what they did is they intervened to the fullest extent that they could, which was to clean up the false matrix in the area around the planet, preventing the controllers of the false matrix from furthering the matrix, preventing them from furthering their operations, which would have prevented us from being able to access cosmic light. In 2012, we started the process of receiving what we would call light codes, cosmic light, higher frequency, that was starting now to leak in from the natural universe surrounding the false matrix. The false matrix is suspended, hijacked is perhaps the truer word, outside of the reach of the organic universe, meaning God's original creation template. So it's kind of quarantined off from even accessing and feeling that delicious energy field that is the true living, breathing universe. That's what we've been separate from. That's why so many people have such a longing for home. It's a state of being and it's a state of connection. Nonetheless, 2012 was the eradication of the false matrix in the atmosphere around our planet, as well as the cosmic field around our planet. So it began something scary for the controllers of the false matrix, which was something so outside of their control, this influx of cosmic light. So they really had to work very, very hard, and they still are. The once controllers of the false matrix, they had to work really, really hard to get humanity to bring themselves down, to get humanity to bring each other down, because they lost the power to do it. At the same time, the starseed mission was fully intact, and that was from the fall of Atlantis. That's when the starseed mission really amped up, because that's when we realized this is serious now. This is serious. Atlantis had fallen, and by the way, with Atlantis, many of our stargates, many of our very, very important ascension gateways, these are energetic portals, these were taken down along with Atlantis. The earth itself was put into I want to say kind of like a death-like state, where it wasn't able to receive revitalizing life force. Everything on the planet began to wilt, and lifespans became much, much shorter. The people, by the way, also became much, much shorter, much, much smaller. at the fall of Atlantis. The planet changed. It was an Eden. It really was the most spectacular place. The Galactics have shown me so many visions and so many bilocations where I get to go back and experience the world before the false matrix. And honestly, guys, whew, there are no words. There's no words. It's just so alive, so electrified, so harmonious, so loving. So the starseeds came in because we knew that we had to save the planet from the inside, and that we had to save ourselves, and that we had to really be the example. We had to show the others, okay, I can't fix you. Okay, I can't save you, but I can fix myself whilst you watch, or whilst I'm in the same collective consciousness. I often refer to it as the soup, the energetic soup that we are all in. We leak into this energetic soup our own signature energy, and that holds a resonance and a story of potential, of our forgiveness, of our elevation, of our courage and determination to lift ourselves into higher and higher states of consciousness. So what I haven't told you about Atlantis is that it was taken down at the most critical juncture, but you won't be. We won't be. In 2012, that was ascertained. That was a non-negotiable. So all that the once controllers of the false matrix could do was vie for how many humans they could keep from ascending. They knew that they couldn't stop planetary ascension. That's huge. They knew that they couldn't stop personal ascension. They could just make it really difficult. They could just make it harder. There are so many people on the planet right now rippling. Be one of them. Be the ripple. Even if you say to me, but I don't know how to do that and I don't know how to ripple, let's ripple together. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say something to you. Just hear the words, let them in, see where they land. Here's what I want to say. You're not alone. No matter how alone you have felt, the truth is you never were and you never have been. The illusion was fantastic. The illusion was so believable, but the truth is that you have always been surrounded by a legion of light. And a greater truth is that you're a part of the legion of light that's here to support this ascension process from within. You came here because you knew that you could do it. You came here because you were part of an agreement that we all made with each other, and the agreement, you remember, was we'll find each other. Right here, right now, as we come closer and closer to the ascension line, we would find each other and walk each other home. And that's exactly what you're doing. With so much love from my heart, all the way to yours. And you know this. You know that love transcends all understanding. So what if you let go of everything that you're trying to understand right now, and you just do what's right in front of you, which is receive the love that is, the love that holds you, the peace that surrounds you, that seeks you. Yeah, you've got this. And you're not alone. We're all doing this together. I came back, right? For those of you that don't know my story, I came back. I had the opportunity to leave in 2016, this life, this planet. I came back for this, to be a part of this, because I saw what was going to take place, and it was so bountiful and so beautiful, and like hell was I going to miss this. And when you see where we're headed and what the end result is, you'll say, yeah, I'm so glad I pushed through, so glad I stayed, because I know we've all had so many opportunities to leave before, and yet here we are. I'm going to leave a playlist over here. This is the Galactic History series. Just over there, go ahead and watch it. Let the love in. Speak to you really soon. Bye-bye for now.